Hey guys, Colin here at the Deep Tissue Massage Center, and I want to show you an exercise to correct an asymmetrical gait pattern. This isn't an exercise that takes a ton of effort or a ton of time by any means at all, but it does take a lot of attention and tuning into your body as to what each leg is doing in the certain parts of the actual exercise itself. So in order to get going on this, what we're going to do is start with our feet about hip width apart. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So feet are hip width apart. I'm going to take a fairly wide stride. And with this stride, if I turn to the front, you can see it's a little wider than my shoulder width. I'm going to have my front leg bent and my back leg locked straight. Hips and feet should be going straight forward. In this position, what I'm first going to do is activate this posterior chain, and particularly the glute maximus, which is the strongest muscle in the body. What I'm going to have you do is lift the back heel up off the floor, keeping this back leg locked straight, and you're going to end up shifting about 70% of your weight onto that front leg. Now in this position, on the back foot, you should feel the ball of your foot and the big toe itself touching the ground, kind of pushing into the ground. That's part of what creates this posterior chain and forward momentum. Now the big player here is going to be the glute max. So I'm going to have you put your hand on that glute muscle and go ahead and squeeze it. Now this is a mind-body connection. It may take a little bit of practice in order to be able to do this, but ultimately you should be able to just make that muscle squeeze. You don't have to squeeze it really hard, but just enough that you feel it firm up. And you're going to hang out here for 30 seconds to a minute. Now in this position with this leg locked straight, we're also stretching out the hip flexor a little bit, which is supposed to be a normal part of your walking cycle. Now, I'm going to scoot back a little bit so we can see what the front leg's doing. So from this position, go ahead and let that glute relax a little bit, let that back leg relax a little bit, and now we're going to focus more on the front foot. So those are 3 points of contact of the front foot on the floor that I want you to cue into, and that is the heel, the base of the big toe, and then the base of the little toe. Feel those 3 points on the floor in this position. And I want to see if it feels like your weight is evenly distributed between those 3 points. Just make a note of that. Now, in this position, what we then want to do is bend that front knee just a little bit forward and bring it inward just a little bit till you feel your arch kind of stretch. I don't want you to let your arch collapse. We just want it to stretch so that your foot can form to the ground. That way you can dissipate force when you're landing on this foot. We also want you to be able to balance on this leg. So what we want you to do is, if this is a challenge for balance already, go ahead and hang out here for about 30 seconds to a minute. Now, if you're having trouble balancing, even with this back leg touching the ground, what I want you to do is use a wall or a chair or something else to help you out. Now, if you can do this easily, then bring the back foot up so that it's closer to the front foot. And again, try and balance in this position for 30 seconds to a minute. Now, if that's easy for you, the next step is just to lift one leg up and to again hang out here for 30 seconds to a minute. Now, there's a couple ways that people cheat in this balancing exercise that I want to point out and I want you to pay attention to. One is there's a tendency for them to grip with their toes. You don't need to grip with your toes. You want to pay attention to those 3 points of contact that I mentioned on the bottom of the foot. The heel, the base of the big toe, and the base of the little toe. Those are your points of contact. No need to grip with your feet. The other thing is your pelvis should be parallel with the ground when you're doing this, not tipped to one side or the other side. So between these two movements, if you do this on both sides, you're training each side to be able to propel you forward, as well as being able to absorb impact, dissipate force, and balance on that supporting leg. I'd recommend doing this twice a day. Do this for a couple of weeks, and I think you're going to see a big difference in the way that you move.